Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the latest edition of Chopping It Up with Rob Mel. No notes, straight from the throat. Listen, I'm not going to spend too much time and just waiting for my shirts to come from the cleaners as I head to work. But I wanted to get at you this morning. So much to talk about. Still a lot to talk about with the NFL, with that epic comeback win by the New England Patriots over the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl. Just a phenomenal finish. Down here in my backyard, I got a chance to speak with a lot of Atlanta fans. And the sentiments around town was that the New England Patriots didn't beat the Falcons. The Falcons beat themselves. Listen, in so many games, or I guess in all games, you can always make the case that if a team didn't do this or if a team did that, they could have won the game. All right? I understand that part and I get that part. But what I don't want to do is cheapen what the Patriots did. What the Patriots did was phenomenal. The fact that they didn't keep the fact that they kept their composure and did not fold under the pressure of being down 28-3 and just chipped away and marched downfield each and every time, it's commendable. Now, I watched the game, and I can look back and honestly say and agree with a lot of Falcon fans. Why didn't the Falcons run the ball a little bit more in the second half when they had the lead? I'm a firm believer. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Their bread and butter is passing the ball. It also looked like on a few carries that Freeman had, once Coleman went out, it looks like the Patriots was looking to stop the run and take it away. Freeman did finish 11 for 75, but it looked like a lot of his damage came in the first half. So I don't know if the running game was effective or would have been effective at that time, because it did appear that New England was clamping down on it. But nevertheless, despite it all, you have to give credit to the New England brass. The way they kept their composure, hung in there, dug deep, and fought back to steal a victory. To really steal a victory. And on the other hand, Atlanta, yeah, it's going to look like a choke job. But you know what? Maybe the lack of inexperience of both the players and the coaches of not sealing the deal. This is Dan Quinn's third trip to the Super Bowl in four years. But it was his first as a head coach. He's only been a head coach for 2 years. I'm sure if he had an opportunity right now to take a few plays back or take a moment back, he probably would have did something a little bit different. But that's the inexperience. Outside of Dwight Freeney, there's probably no one on the Atlanta roster that has ever been to a Super Bowl. The closest they've been to a Super Bowl is a Super Bowl party. So maybe the inexperience came in. I don't know if that was a factor or not. Maybe the better team just won. Maybe that's the case. Maybe the better player just took over in a clutch situation. I don't know. There's a few factors in there. But I tell you what, for the Falcons and their fans, I know this is a disappointing loss. Hold your head up. You guys are going to be in the thick of things for years to come. That's a young defense there that Falcons have, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get stronger. My concern is, who replaces Kyle Shanahan as your offensive coordinator? And please, I'm not a Falcon fan, but please do not bring Chip Kelly into the Mercedes-Benz Dome. Please. That would be a mistake. Do not bring Chip Kelly to the Atlanta Falcons organization. That will be a mistake. Quick question before we go into the NBA, because there was a couple of things in the NBA that I need to touch on. But I want to end with Tom Brady. Tom Brady is clearly the GOAT. He's clearly on the Mount Rushmore of football players. Throughout the day, there was questions about, has he surpassed Michael Jordan as the most clutch player ever? Some people think he may be the greatest athlete ever. I want to leave you guys with this, and we could talk about it on my next live show, which will probably be Thursday. of all the professional sports athletes that you've watched, I'm not necessarily saying in history, but you watch or maybe in history that you may have read upon or have some knowledge of, does Tom Brady make your all-time Mount Rushmore? I've been wrestling with this question. I have two people on my all-time Mount Rushmore. The other two is really tough for me, but I'll be giving my Mount Rushmore I'll be giving my Mount Rushmore on Thursday of my all-time Mount Rushmore. I'll look to hear from you guys. Good morning, Skip. Good friend of mine, Skip Mullen, tuning in from the Cat Williams Great American Tour Live. He says the Falcons lost the game from both. Players should have hold from the booth. Players should hold their heads high. I thought the Falcons put it out on the field. I agree with Skip. I don't think the players necessarily lost the game. Yeah, there was a key holding penalty. There was a key missed block by Freeman. But those things are going to happen. It may have come down to the booth with the play caller. Was Kyle Shanahan trying to get too cute on his way out? I was listening to a pundit yesterday give his analyst on it. He said there was no reason for Kyle Shanahan to coach this game as if he was trying to get a job when he already had a job secured. It wasn't like he had to impress his future bosses. All he had to do was just win the game and secure the victory. If there has to be a finger pointed to Shanahan up in the booth. Good call by Skip on that. But I don't think the Falcons players lost the game. I don't think Matt Ryan lost the game. That strip fumble sack on Matt Ryan. Freeman missed the key block. Hightower came off the edge like a missile. Just missed the key block. But my question to you is, and to all of you, and you guys can type in your answers or hit me up, but I will give my answer on Thursday. What is your Mount Rushmore of all time with professional athletes? And is Tom Brady on that list? I have two already in mind. Now that field could consist of so many players. From your Babe Ruths to Tom Brady. From your Muhammad Ali to Serena Williams. Is Tiger Woods part of that group? Is Michael Jordan part of that group? Is Jabbar part of that group? Is Wayne Gretzky part of that group? Is Roger Federer part of that group? Just something to think about. I'm sure we're all going to have a different set of answers. But I'm interested to see yours. We're going to move to the NBA. As I said, I just wanted to get at you guys this morning. I'm just waiting for my shirts to come from the cleaner so I can head to work. But I want to talk a little NBA. First of all, the Knicks, I'm disgusted with them. How do you get blown out from the start by the Los Angeles Lakers at home? Phil Jackson needs to be fired for assembling this team. Jeff Hornacek has to do a better job. There's no excuses for this team being unprepared and not ready to go. We just watched the team down 28-3 in the third quarter. Remain calm, keep their focus, and pull off an epic comeback in the Super Bowl to force overtime. And hey, you're at home. Get a chance to go up against the Lakers, who's a team that's struggling worse than you. You may have the top two players on the court, and you can't get it done. You can't get it done. Porzingis, 1 point in the first half. What's that about? What is that about? All the trade rumors surrounding Carmelo Anthony. He's the only one that's balling or playing. That was a disgraceful display of basketball by the Knicks last night at the Garden in front of Celebrity Row and others with the lowly Lakers in town. unbelievable to watch that performance. And on the other hand, you got LeBron James fighting off trade rumors that he's supposed to have sparked up, or he said that, yes, he wants Carmelo in Cleveland. Well, nevertheless, despite it all, he goes out there and he plays the hottest team in basketball, the Washington Wizards, stopped their 17-game winning streak to force overtime with an unbelievable three-point bank shot with 0.3 seconds to go to force it into overtime. As he finished with 32 points and 17 assists. However, he fouled out, which is incredible. When is the last time LeBron James fouled out a game? When? I looked it up. It was conflicting reports. One report said 2008. One report said 2012 or either 2013 playoff game. Nevertheless, this guy doesn't even foul out. He doesn't even get fouls calls against him. But he fouled out. Kyrie Irving, he scored 11 of his 23 points in overtime to get the win against the Washington Wizards. And Kevin Love led all Cleveland scorers with 39 points. I believe he had like 16 rebounds. So Kevin Love is making his statement that he doesn't want to be traded, that he should stay there. And I think he shouldn't be traded for Carmelo Anthony. I really think he should not be traded for Carmelo Anthony. I believe that's the only way Carmelo gets to Cleveland if Kevin Love is traded. Shout out to Eddie Ness. It's been a while. How you doing, Eddie? Eddie said he traveled on a plane. He may have, Ed. I don't dispute you. But how often do they call travel in the NBA? The things that they do on the court today in the NBA, Ed, when we was on the court, when we were younger, it was a travel. It was walk, carry, sometimes palming. Sometimes even double dribble, what I see. I mean, think about the step back jump. They hop 2 steps back after giving up their dribble. That's an up and down when we was younger. And this crab step or Euro step, it looks good, but that was a walk when we was kids growing up. So they don't call travel in the NBA. Unless it's just absolutely blatant where you take 4 or 5 steps, you run with it, forget to put it on the ground. But they very rare does they call travel. So that doesn't surprise me. But good eye on that, Ed. But yeah, so Cleveland comes away with the win over Washington. Despite Bradley Beal's 41 points, Washington is making a case that they're a top 4 team in the East. So look out for them. We move along. Toronto get a much needed win against the Clippers last night. And DeMar DeRozan, he couldn't come back at a better time as this team was reeling a little bit. He came back with 31 points to help get the win. Kyrie Irving, he chipped in like 20-something points. And even the big guy, Valanciunas, had 21. But more importantly, Toronto needed this win as they were watching themselves kind of dip in the standings a little bit. This was a team that was number 2 seed all year. But Washington and Atlanta had crept up to 3 and 4. So it was putting them like 5, maybe even a 6 seed. But looked like Toronto may return to their winning ways. So that was a good win by Toronto. Atlanta, they lost at home to Utah. So there was a couple of good games around the league. As now that the NFL has ended, we're probably going to focus a lot more on the NBA. And we'll probably start getting into the NCAA because the tournament, March Madness, is right upon us, about 4 weeks away. So we'll start getting into that as soon we'll be looking at the conference tournaments and so forth. And keep in mind, pitchers and catchers are reporting to training camp sometime either this week or next week. So baseball is sneaking right upon us. So as NFL kind of ends, we still got a lot to talk about around here. But I just want to remind you guys, get at me on Thursday. Come with your list for the top, your Mount Rushmore of athletes of all time. Whether you saw them or you read about them or you know the history of them. Just curious to see if anybody has Brady on that list. And I'm just curious to see where you guys are on your Mount Rushmore. Just something to think about. In the meantime, I'm going to get out of here because I need to get to work. My shirt should be arriving shortly. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Skip, appreciate you. Ed, it's good to see you. And to the rest of you chopping it up, Raw guys out there, at peace and blessings. I'll see you guys in 24. Y'all have a blessed day. Chopping it up with Raw Chopping it up.